I think the Overture Fantasy by Tchaikovsky, Romeo and Juliet, is one of the most beautiful overtures ever written, or beautiful music ever written on this story, because so many composers use this story. And of course we know the famous ballet by Prokofiev, but it's another genre. It's a ballet, so it's a huge 2-3 hours music. But in terms of the overture, I think it's such a strong material in terms of the melodies, the harmonies, the development of the structure of the rhythm, and it's not very often performed. And we like to come back with the orchestra to this wonderful, beautiful jewels, forgotten music of Tchaikovsky, such as Romeo and Juliet. And coming to Mussorgsky, Songs and Dances of Death, it's wonderful cycle where in this case is two genius composers met together, Mussorgsky and orchestrated by Shostakovich, who absolutely admired Mussorgsky, and the beautiful orchestration of Shostakovich with the powerful music of Mussorgsky, and together with wonderful voice of Olga Borodina, who is, in my opinion, today one of the most beautiful voices in this repertoire, and she's the greatest mezzo-soprano. So it's a big pleasure to make this beautiful cycle with her, which requires a lot of details and a lot of it's like, in a way, like a chamber music, though it is with the orchestra, but it's very chamber, and you have to express so many details and colors, and the story you have to tell. It's very important, and she's doing a wonderful job. Of course, I do like Russian music. It's where I come from, but I cannot really limit myself only with Russian music. And the reason we recorded a lot of Russian music with Toulouse Orchestra is because that was something which the orchestra never done, and they were very famous for recording French music with my predecessor Michel Plasson, who left a huge legacy of French music recorded on a disc with the orchestra. So the orchestra never recorded the Russian music, and since we do have a fantastic understanding about this music with the orchestra, and they love playing it, I thought it would be quite logical to make a recording of this music. So, but we are not limiting ourselves at all about Russian music, and we will be thinking of maybe some other projects for recording. Depends, what we feel. We feel very free. We don't feel obliged to record anything. It's always, it comes naturally. If we feel about a particular symphony or something that we did a really good job on it, it's really developed, it matured, then we can record it. Brahms is somebody who, I think, made this wonderful, strong link between the classical world and the romantic world in the strongest possible way. The first symphony is very often called the 10th Symphony of Beethoven, and I think it took him 20 years to write the symphony, and it's such a wonderful symphony. It's so strong, it's so dramatic, and I thought, it's good that we come back to Brahms, because he's a composer who, every time if we play the same symphonies, he always gives us this inspiration. We always find something new. We always find new food for thoughts. It's one of those musics which you never stop to enjoy. And I think the challenge is how you play the romantic symphony, but with a quite early romantic, post-Beethoven, after Beethoven period. So that's a challenge which we like to take, and as I said, it's a wonderful symphony, as dramatic as probably as Mussorgsky and Tchaikovsky's Romeo and Juliet. So there are three very strong points in this program, and I hope it's going to work all together. This is the first time we're going to do that. We are very, very excited, because we were looking forward to start to do this, because so many other orchestras already been doing that, and I know that today's, of course, we shouldn't forget our audiences who come into the concert hall, who come here in Alogras, our audiences wherever we go, on tour, in Paris. But I think we are really reaching out to new generations. We're really approaching a new public which has probably different perspective on watching the concert. I mean, first of all, it allows people who are not in Toulouse, who are not in France today, can listen to this concert. I know already so many people who are going to listen to the concert today from Russia, from London, and so it's a wonderful way of sharing this musical experience, and we're very happy to do it with Medici, who's been doing so successfully in this area so well and for so many years already, and achieved so many wonderful things. And with the experience which they have, I think they already, come to Toulouse Orchestra, and we together, also with experience we have, I think the result is going to be quite exciting.